Hi, Dave Murphy.
Hi, Sheena.
Thanks a million for coming to see us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me along.
Yeah, I'm delighted to see you. How are you anyway today after Townlands Festival? Are you a bit wrecked?
Bit wrecked, yeah. Mucky festival.
Yeah, I can
I
imagine.
had to clean down all my gear yesterday evening before this today.
And do you all go for pints afterwards when you finish up, or have you changed that way?
We've kind of changed, yeah. We used to, but we're all very sensible now.
Yeah. Can you tell me a bit about how you started off playing? What age were you? And you're from Buttevant in County Cork,
correct, yeah. I suppose I started playing when I was very young. I suppose music always kind of had an influence. My parents had a kind of a dance hall or a bar when I was very small in Liscarroll, in North Cork. The Old Walls was the name of the pub, and they used to have music there every weekend and most nights of the week, I guess. A lot of show bands and country bands, the 80s, and I guess there was always music around. And when I was maybe 3 or 4, I suppose, I started getting piano lessons, and I played in a brass band for a while when I was in school, and that was kind of my first foray into music.
What instrument were you playing in the brass band?
Played trumpet.
Wow, yeah. I love the trumpet. I love it, yeah.
So did that for a few years, and I suppose like most young lads, guitar kind of took over. I started playing guitar when I was maybe 11 or 12, and that was it. I was sold.
Okay, so then you obviously, I don't know what age you were when you started playing the pedal steel, but was it that the guitar wasn't challenging enough with just the 2 hands, and now you need to use your knees and your feet and your hands?
Maybe.
What happened? How did you get introduced to the pedal steel?
I suppose I was listening to a lot of just loads of different types of music, and a lot of, I guess, it's country music and the whole Americana thing, I guess, that was taken on hold over the last 10 years. It kept cropping up in different, a lot of records I would hear, be it Joni Mitchell or the Byrds or, Neil Young. And it just seemed like kind of a natural progression. I was playing a lot of slide guitar. I was into a lot of blues, and started dipping into a little bit of lap steel, and I just kind of realised I need to take a bit of a plunge and try the pedal steel. Yeah, and it was kind of a mysterious instrument as well. There's not too many of them around, and it seemed, it just seemed like something that my ear was tuned to, and I thought, let's give it a go.
Would you say that the pedal steel picked you, or you picked, like, what I mean is, does it suit a certain personality, would you say, because it's so unusual? Like, is it kind of that you're so relaxed? Because I've seen you playing electric guitar and you just seem so cool to me, and I don't know if it's like that with regards to pedal steel, but would you say there is a certain personality suits the pedal steel?
Maybe. There's certainly a lot going on. I guess like a drummer. There's a lot going on with feet and knees and hands. Maybe so, yeah. Although I heard a funny quote recently that there's a high percentage of pedal steel players are serial killers, so I don't know what that says. But maybe so.
There'd be serious patience involved in it, though. Could you explain a bit about, like, I find it mind-blowing really when I look at it, and even seeing all the levers and what it takes in setting it up, but could you run through it a bit for us?
Sure, yeah. Well, it's this particular model is a single neck instrument, so it's got 10 strings. It's a E9 tuning. It's got 3 foot pedals which raise the pitch of certain strings. So, for example, and it's got 4 knee levers here, which are operated by the knees, and they lower the pitch of certain strings as well. So it just opens up so many possibilities, as well as, of course, having the slide. So it's really dynamic as well with the volume pedal. So with the right foot, so you can swell in notes. So it's very musical, and there's the the opportunities with chords and with the voicings of chords. You can change the voicing of a chord just with slight touch of a pedal or a lever. Just by picking once, and so it's very dynamic and it's very expressive as well that way.
Yeah, it's kind of mournful, isn't it, in one sense? I mean, but then in another thing you do, it sounds kind of like the Hawaiian hula,
Yeah, exactly.
Did it derive from the actual Hawaiian steel guitar way back originally, did it?
Yeah, I guess in the 20s and 30s in the States, there was a big Hawaiian music craze, I suppose, and it kind of evolved from there. People started using just regular. I suppose there were regular lap steels at the time. They didn't have any levers or pedals. By the late 40s, maybe the 50s, different steel players around America started adding their own pedals or their own levers, and it just kind of evolved really. There's no particular standard. There's no particular. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's loads of steel players out there. A lot of them would use different configurations or with different pedal setups, or they'd have double necks with different tunings, and the possibilities are huge, really.
Do you have a lot of gear yourself?
Yeah, too much.
I can imagine. So which do you prefer? I mean, I have only seen you play the electric guitar a few times, but are you normally now playing the pedal steel at any gig you play, pretty much?
Yeah. I suppose I would have always been a guitar player. I started playing pedal steel maybe 10 years ago. 10 years ago, actually, this month, I think, I bought my first steel. And it's probably only in the last 3 or 4 years that I've probably deemed myself to be a pedal steel player than a guitar player. I'm probably more comfortable improvising or sitting in with a band on a pedal steel than I am with a guitar.
Well, you're rare now, of course. Is there many pedal steel players in Cork? Are you the only one?
There's a couple that I've kind of found out. Pete Brennan, I think, played steel in. Don't know if he plays anymore. There's a couple in West Cork. Isaac plays steel. Isaac Taylor. Very good. Yeah. But there's not too many. There's certainly not many young people playing it. Yeah. There's probably a handful of us around the country. We all kind of know each other and help each other out, swap ideas and secrets and things. Yeah. Which is great. You have your own club now, kind of thing. Yeah. I remember in the shop in the old days, we used to be constantly ordering DVDs for drummers, particularly, especially drummers, and then guitarists, and then bass players. And I remember, I think I ordered twice. I ordered a pedal steel DVD as an instruction. Wow. Do you teach? I don't, but no. Maybe down the line. Yeah. Sure, yeah. If anyone was interested. Because you're the go-to guy now about pedal steels, really. So maybe so. Yeah. And do you must prefer the pedal steel at this stage, obviously, if that's what you're going for all the time. But do you enjoy playing the lap steel, or why would you play the lap steel in a certain setting now? Why would you choose the lap steel or the dobro over the pedal steel? I suppose with the dobro, it's kind of a very early incarnation of the instrument. So it's an acoustic guitar. It's got a resonator cone in it, and it's got a different tone, and you're limited to the tuning you use as well. Obviously, you can tune it differently, but I tune it to open G or an open D generally. But I suppose I would use that more for bluegrass music or for more acoustic music. The lap steel, again, I guess for different tunings. So for kind of jazz or western swing music, I would tune the lap steel to a 6th tuning, which you can kind of get on this, but it's limited enough. So it's just a different feel, I suppose. Yeah. And have you effects pedals that you would have set up now for your guitar? Is it pretty much the same thing that you put through your pedal steel? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, reverb and delay and. What brands are you going for there? They look very interesting. Got a couple of Strymon pedals. Excellent, delay pedal and a reverb pedal, and they have just for different tones and for different just for different effects. I've got this organ machine here, which is fairly psychedelic. It's like a Mellotron simulator and things like that, which I use with John McNaughts. Of course, I've got a fuzz pedal I use here as well. But generally that's about it. And I see you have Peterson tuner as well, which is a serious tuner, which you'd need obviously for something like that, I suppose. Yeah, the tuning is can be difficult because I guess there's so much bending of strings and there's a lot of tension put in the strings, they can go out of tune easily. But as well as that, I guess to compensate for with intonation and the rest of it, some of the strings are tuned slightly flat or slightly sharp, just to compensate. So
and the Jackson Blackjack is your model there, right? But have you got another few of these pedal steels? No, that's what you offer.
This is my only one. Yeah, this was actually built for me by a guy in America, in the States, in Tennessee, who he's David Jackson is his name, and his father was Shot Jackson, who was one half of the Showbud guitar company, who were like the kind of big, they were like the Gibson, I guess, or the Fender of the pedal steel world for a long time.
When you were a young fella, like at the stage when your parents had the dance hall, did you get to, like when you were 12, 13, 14, were you allowed in and see some of the performances?
We left that when I was 3 or 4, I guess.
Because I was wondering about influences and tones, how you've been led down this direction, like it's all.
I'm sure North Cork country music influenced me somewhere in the back of my mind.
So did you go through phases of wanting to be the next Rory Gallagher, like seen as everybody does, I suppose, being from Cork?
Yeah, big time, and especially Rory Gallagher's slide playing was a huge influence in that whole world into slide guitar. So I guess that's where it came from, really. It's definitely an influence.
And of course, with the pedal steel, I can imagine many people know doing the album wants a bit of pedal steel on. So do you get booked for a lot of recordings?
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself to be a session musician first, and then, or which comes first, John Black and the Rats, or?
I guess John Black and the Rats is kind of definitely. We have great fun.
How long are you together?
Playing with John and the lads since maybe 2011.
Definitely one of my favourite bands. I love everything you do, I love it. And as I said to you earlier when we were chatting, I wouldn't have considered that I was into country, but and do you find that the country limits your opportunities because you don't have as much country music played in general venues and that?
No, I don't think so. I think definitely with the Rats over the last couple of years we've kind of moved away from the maybe not consciously, but there's definitely been a change in sound, and we're kind of, I suppose we're just trying to do our own thing as well, really. What I like about pedal steel, and I think what probably helps other artists as well, is that I try to steer away from the kind of country cliched application of it. So it's I suppose it's synonymous with country music, but it's very dynamic, and it's very for ambient music or for classical music or for jazz.
Well, when you said jazz, I was a bit surprised. I can't even hear that, as such.
I guess when I say jazz, I probably mean closer to Western swing music, or it's more 40s kind of dance music, I suppose, for want of a better word.
I was at the Grand Ole Opry. I went over to Gibson, I can't remember how long ago, 10, 15 years ago, and we were brought to line dancing and all the different country acts and everything, and every single act had pedal steel, but I'd much rather the way you use it. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like you said, you're applying it to not be cliched, but country like as such.
And I guess that's probably what helps in, I enjoy collaborating with different artists, and I love getting the opportunity to record with different people, so it's always just what's appropriate for the song, or what's appropriate, in terms of the steel's role in a particular song, It doesn't necessarily have to be country music. So
as a session musician, you've worked with some brilliant names like Patrick Freeman, Monorail, Melodian, David Hope, and I could go on, there's lists and lists there, that must be fantastic. I mean, it gets juicier, doesn't it, the fact that you're able to collaborate with so many people, but you also travel with them? I do. With Anna Mitchell, I play live with Anna quite a bit. With Patrick Freeman, play with him occasionally as well. There's some other, like David Hope, played with Dave for a few years. We played a lot with Owen Jordan as well. The Henchman. He's brilliant. You have the airline guitar on that track, Come Hell or High Water, is it? Yeah. I love that guitar actually. It's pretty cool. It's cool. But how did you come across the airline? Did you buy it online? I did. It was. I was really into the White Stripes at the time, and Calexico. I'm a big Calexico fan as well. And they were using airline guitars, and there was a company in Canada that started to reissue them. And
I just got in touch to see would they, you know, they had a limited run of them, so I think I ended up getting like one of the first batch of them, which was great.
Very cool altogether, yeah. It has that quality, that image, like it's just visually very pleasing, isn't it? So with all the different people, like I saw your video of you playing with Emily Magner as well, like you're probably really busy, but you're working full time as well, are you?
Yeah, got the day job as well.
Yeah, that's kind of tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
But so as a session musician, if anybody wants to book you, they contact you through www.davidmurphymusician.com.
davidmurphymusic.com.
David Murphy Music, yeah, brilliant. Who inspires you? Like, who jumps out at you as? I know that you are a Jimmy Page fan. Is that correct?
Big time, yeah, big Led Zeppelin fan. He played a bit of pedal steel actually as well. Surprisingly enough. I guess from a pedal steel point of view, anyway. As I said, bands like Calexico, all the kind of country stuff as well, and even the more modern Americana stuff that's been going on the last few years. And there's people like Daniel Lemo, who plays pedal steel, and he's got a very, very unique approach to it as well, in terms of an ambient instrument and his application to songs that he uses it with. I'm trying to think of other bands. There's a lot of American bands. There's a band Richmond Fontaine. I don't know if you're familiar with them. I've luckily got to play with them over the last.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Which is great.
Yeah.
They would have been a huge influence when I started playing steel. Again, just the way the instrument was used, just very subtly and tasteful. It doesn't necessarily have to be showy or anything. You know?
Yeah. Do you think the pedal steel is becoming more popular, or is it still the same, or how will it be in the next 20 years? Or?
It's a kind of a concern for a lot of people playing live music these days. It's definitely a niche thing now anyway. I guess with the internet and everything, it's very easy to learn it as well. I think maybe easier than what it was 30 years ago. We have the benefit of YouTube and everything now to learn whether it's fixing something or how to play a tune or how to tune it. Whereas 30 years ago you might have seen it in a magazine or something. That was it. So
Trevor says Google is God, but for me it's YouTube. Like definitely, any question about anything you can look it up. But so you've been so busy with John Bleck and the Rats as well. I mean, you were recently playing in Whelan's and you've done a tour in Germany and the UK and so on. So, like, I consider John Bleck and the Rats as a massively successful band. You recently played for the President as well. Tell me a bit about that.
Don't know how it came about. We just got an email. Would we like to come and play at his garden party? Of course, we were delighted. Yeah, we thought it was a joke. We couldn't believe it. So we went there. I don't know whether he's a fan or.
I'm sure he is, because he's so into the music, and I saw a picture of him focused on you, standing in front of the stage, and he was eating it up. I'd say definitely, and I'd say he'll stay in his memory, definitely, outstanding, So, if you don't mind me mentioning that you have a baby coming soon.
That's right.
So I'm kind of curious about how you're going to manage this, because you're working full time, playing full time, and then the baby's going to be full time.
Good question.
So exciting times. It's brilliant.
We'll make it work. It'll be good. It's really exciting. So
what will you give up here? Like, is the day job or the music? Which will have to go?
Maybe the day job. Yeah.
Good answer. So, Dave, have you any interesting projects coming up in the near future?
Near future, just some session work with Richmond Fontaine, American band.
Brilliant,
a couple of festival appearances, and also start a new project with Kevin O'Shea, guitar player, and Declan O'Shea in town here. He's doing a lot of Western swing music and 40s and 50s kind of jazzy kind of stuff. So,
I love Kevin. He's always experimenting and trying different things. He's great. He's great. So if people want to contact you, if they want to book you for a recording, you're open to that, obviously. And so on your website again, it's davidmurphymusic.com.
That's it.
And I suppose on your Facebook page, it'll easily find you as well. Great stuff. Thanks a million for coming, Dave.
Thanks for having me. Thanks, Sheena.